Welcome in, everyone. Fantasy Live. It's the last Fantasy Live of the season. It was a fun season. Meg, did you have fun?
I did, for the most part.
Okay, that's good. Well, yes, it's the last one. We'll be previewing basically all of our leagues' playoff brackets. We'll go over a little preview of that. We'll go over transactions, injury news, and then our last waiver wire ranking of the week or of the season. And yeah, hopefully you guys, if you're not in our podcast leagues, hopefully our podcast helped you guys and you guys are winning your fantasy championships. Make sure to put your final questions in the chat and we'll go over a Q&A at the end. A lot of people, I had a glitch last time when I was going over our graphics. So a lot of people said use the Google Doc. I don't know if you heard that. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to be screen sharing my Google Doc, going over our notes and, important stuff to get to you guys. But I'm going to screen share our playoff brackets, going over them briefly, just to give you guys a little preview of that. Champ League, I got my butt kicked. It's okay. I had a lot of injuries, and I knew it was going to be an uphill battle. It's just one of those weeks. My players didn't show up to play, and it is what it is. But the championship will be between KB24 Forever and Give Me That. So good luck to both of you guys. The 1 and the 3 seed will be moving on. Me and Texas Pizza will be fighting, for third place? Whoopee! A bronze medal, right? So these 4 teams will stay in Champs League next season. The 4 that are going to be eliminated from Champs League are going to be Megan, Sabali Swish Kebabs, Matthews MVP, and Mike Lepp. These 4 teams can participate in any of our other podcast leagues next season, but their Champ League spot has now been forfeited. Megan, you do have a chance. Let's get into that. Megan does have a chance in actually both of her leagues.
Yeah.
With getting back into Champ League. So Meg, you are going to be facing the number 1 seed, Dorcas Side of the Moon. Oh my God, Dorcas Side of the Moon, 723 points.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
In round 1. What the heck,
Woo.
Meg?
I'm nervous.
Tell me how you're feeling about this matchup.
I'm nervous. Here, let me pull it up because I think this is the league that I'm probably the most concerned about.
Oh, is it?
Hold on, let me see.
Because 723 is pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty big numbers compared to your 614.
I got Lot riding on Phoenix. I need my 2 double-headed monster, Alyssa Thomas and Satu, to do well.
Dang. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Who does Dorcas Side of the Moon have?
All right, good team. Sabrina,
Woo.
Jackie Young,
Woo!
Azarae Stevens,
Oh.
Alana Smith, Misamin, Kelsey Mitchell, Cardoso, Morrow, Angel Reese if she comes off of IR. And did I say Tiffany Hayes?
And Angel Reese is questionable. I forgot to update the doc, I think, but yeah. Angel Reese is questionable for tomorrow.
So I think it's gonna be a long week. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I think hopefully it goes all the way down to the wire and no one just runs away with it. So.
I hope it's a back and forth affair. That's going to be fun. Meg, if you win, you're into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. If you lose, not the playoffs, you're into Champs League. If you lose, well, Dorcas Side of the Moon is into Champs League. So that would be fun. Are you in it on your other league as well?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go to yours again.
Is it the top? Remind us all. Is it the top one or?
It's the top one. So with Meg's though, because Meg's in the championship of both of her podcast leagues, if she happens to win both the podcast leagues, the 2 second place finishers will be put in like a random draw, and then that person will have a spot in the Champs League. So Meg, you're going against Phoenix Order, the number 1 seed. Another number 1 seed.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this.
Scored 724 in round 1.
This one's tough as well.
I don't think you're gonna win.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard in both leagues. Oh my goodness.
I can tell.
I need to start prepping tonight.
Oh my gosh. So what do you have? So you don't have a better outlook in this round?
No. Look, this. Oh my lord. This player has Kelsey Plum, Nneka, Aaliyah Boston, Gabby Williams, Brianna Jones, Kayla McBride, Misa Min, Mabry, and Tiffany Hayes.
Wow. That's a good team.
Yeah.
Who's your...
And you know what's tough is, so, like, I have a couple players that the other person in the other league has.
I know.
So I have Sabrina Anissa Morrow.
Yeah.
So...
I feel that. Well, we'll go over to Brooks, and then we'll go over to mine to finish off our little preview of how our podcast leagues are doing. Brooke actually made it to the championship. Congratulations, Brooke, if you're watching. She'll be going against Marina's Pasta. I hope I said that right. Brooke, you put up a good 572, but Marina's Pasta 607. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm not going to lie, I was rooting for Plum Buckets a little bit because I just really loved the name. It was a really creative name. I forgot to put it in this episode, but I was going to see, like, who are the common names we're seeing in the championship or in the playoffs. Okay. I was telling you, Meg, that a lot of people I was playing had Plum, and I also had Plum. And all of those people that had Plum went on to the championship round. Yeah. So I'm curious to see. I want to break that down and see, you know, who actually made it to the championship. Yeah. In my league, I did make it to the championship at least in one of the 3 leagues I'm in. It was a rough sledding for me this season. I had a lot of injuries. I had a lot of Angel Reese everywhere, and she got hurt. She'll be back this week. I don't even think I have Angel Reese in this league, though. I think I have, like, Breonna Stewart in this league. So that really doesn't even help me now that I'm thinking about it. So me and Janice, and technically I'm already in the Champ League. So, Janice, congratulations. You default into the Champ League, basically, because if I win, you get to be Champ League. So congratulations, Janice, our first new Champ League player.
Putting up big numbers. You scared there?
Yeah. My team sucks. I don't even know how I made it this far. I'm not even going to lie to you. I did not like this team from when I drafted it. And out of all the 3 leagues I'm in, I was like, this team, it's not going to go anywhere. But, hey, that team surprises you. We got the 3 and 4 seed in the championship in this league. I would say our podcast league, Chicky's podcast league, we are very competitive to the end. I will say that. But okay, so that was just a little preview of where we stand with the podcast league. If you are the winner of one of our podcast leagues, you get a berth into Champ League. Bottom 4 of Champ League have been eliminated, but they can re-enter into our regular podcast leagues next season. So hopefully, guys, if you guys are new and you want to join our fantasy podcast league next season, we do give you guys a heads up of when we're going to drop the link. It is first come, first serve. If you are in our Discord, you get the link a day early. We only have limited spots. There's only so many of us that can play leagues, and we have to run those leagues for them to, like, work. Yeah. So join our Discord. Link is in the description of this video if you want to join our fantasy podcast league next season. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been competitive. But with that said, it's the championship week. Woo! It's been a long time coming, so let's get into it. A lot of transactions. We didn't have a recap video this week. Me and Meg went to the Atlanta game, so we didn't have time to record. I would say, out of all these transactions, Odyssey Sims signing her second 7-day contract. She got a starting spot in the Indiana lineup. Sophie Cunningham's going to be probably out, more than likely. The knee injury did not look good. So she's one that I'm like, she's going to be on our rankings, obviously. And then also, I would say Grace Berger. I know she's getting playing time, but she's just not really turning around in fantasy-wise, so she's not really going to be mentioned. The rest of these contracts, for fantasy-wise, don't really have much value. I mean, Meg, do you see anyone that would have value or worth mentioning?
Maybe Kayla Charles. Is it Kayla?
But she got, like, no minutes.
I know,
we watched the Atlanta game.
With the Valkyries, but the Valkyries are dealing, like, Veronica Burton got pretty beat up last night. Yeah. So I'll be keeping an eye on that to see if she's planning to miss any time or if she just will be able to recover. Mm-hmm. But the Valkyries are hit or miss, so you just never know. So she's probably the only other person on here that could potentially get something.
Yeah, I feel like you guys lost a lot of players last night. I mean, it wasn't a lot. Repair went down. I mean,
Repair's in concussion protocol, but that's a 4. But yeah, we're just not looking like we have depth.
Yeah, and it's like if anyone gets into foul trouble, Kyla Charles could probably be that next man up. But like, who knows? Who knows at this point, right? Injury watch. Angel Reese was back at practice doing encore activities. She is listed as questionable. I'm more salty as a fantasy manager because I had her in so many places and I really needed that 40 fantasy points. You know, she always just gives you good fantasy points. But she might be back for your champ week if you survived and moved on. This would be a great addition. Only concern is minute restriction, I would say. Liaru, day-to-day with a knee injury. Arike, day-to-day. Repair has already been ruled out. Concussion. Caitlin Clark, hopeful to return by the end of regular season. So that doesn't really help us much as fantasy managers. I doubt she comes back this week. I want to say she was doing some activities, though, right? From last update.
Yeah, but I doubt she's anything worth mentioning for fantasy.
No, I think it's over. I really do.
I can't wait till our awards show. Did you let our listeners know that we're doing that?
So we do an award show every year. I will send out a poll of categories that we come up for each. I don't even know how to explain it really. We make up categories and give these fantasy players awards every single year. Yeah. So I will send out a poll to Discord. I will send out a poll to the YouTube posts. So stay look out for that so you guys can vote. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to be in that bus category this year.
I got a lot on my mind right
now. Okay, and then Sophie Cunningham, knee scheduled to undergo an MRI on Monday. I don't think we have the results on that yet. I haven't seen anything. Collier, day-to-day. She is listed doubtful, so I doubt she plays. I don't think... She might be back by the end of the week, but I don't think so. Probably another Caitlin Clark situation. You probably won't get her back for fantasy playoffs. Isabel Harrison, concussion. I think she was ruled out, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You can double check that. Niara Sabali, scheduled to be reevaluated today. Makoa Okani is actually probable to play tomorrow. And then JC Sheldon, I think, was also ruled out.
She's ruled out both.
Okay, so perfect. Over to game count. So this is a mix of game count and then how we did it last week. Easiest schedules versus hardest schedules of the last week of playoffs. In the red, obviously that's going to be a hard matchup. In the green, easy. Orange, medium. Okay. So if we're looking at it, which I did not know, Plum Dog Millionaire has one game this week, which was a bummer for everyone that moved on, and I just said Plum got a lot of people to the championship round. And I mean, you're going to be only having Dearica, Azure, Rakia Jackson. Yeah. Oh my god, just so many. Yeah, Alamon. Just so many good names. They're only going to have one game in your championship round. I guess the only positive thing is it's a Wednesday game, right?
Yes.
It's a Wednesday game, so you can drop these players. What?
Is it Wednesday? Yes, I think it is Wednesday.
I think it is a Wednesday game.
Yeah.
So,
the Wings.
Yeah. So, you can drop... So, once these players are done and you have no use for them, drop them, pick someone else up.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in holding on to these people on your waiver wire. Maximize your roster spots. Yep. That's something we really wanted to talk about on this episode.
That's 4 days worth of games you can get from other players that's not LA players.
Exactly. So really, you just have to. This goes with any player, not just LA. I'm sure there's other players you might want to look that you can just drop that were like studs on your team, and that's why we take off the what's it called, the non-droppable. You know the exempt list on the settings. We take that off because like it's not fair. Like just drop whoever you want to drop. I mean, it is what it is, honestly, especially for your championship round. I don't want to be holding on to Kelsey Plum after she plays on Wednesday. So, remember.
But if you're not in our leagues and you're playing in someone else's league, they do have that setting where you can't, if it's like a star, like a Plum. Usually it's a top 10 draft pick, they're not going to let you drop them.
Yeah, so it is. I'm glad you mentioned that. Depending on your league settings, but in our podcast leagues, you could drop whoever you want to drop. So yes, remember, after you're done using them this week, these LA players, just drop them. Say sayonara. Say thank you for helping me, and move on. The other team that only has 2 games this week is Indiana, and they play Minnesota twice. So they have been awarded the hardest schedule of the week. Because what the heck? Mm-hmm. Back-to-back Minnesota games and only playing 2 games this week. That's a rough sledding. And Indiana's kind of going through this rough patch. Yep. So I don't think it's looking too good for Indiana, honestly. The next hardest schedule would be Atlanta. Atlanta plays Vegas, Minnesota, New York. Minnesota's already clinched, but Vegas is still in contention. They're on a hot streak. And then, New York, pretty good defensively. They might get Breanna Stewart back. That's another player we didn't really mention. I forgot to put it on the injury watch. I know she practiced today. So they're still wishy-washy about when is she going to be coming back, but she did practice. Teams that have 4 games, Minnesota and Washington. If you had Nafisa Collier, you'd be jumping up and down screaming yes, I get Collier 4 times. You're not. Maybe you get her once, but I don't think you will be. Washington has one of the easier schedules this week. We did have Minnesota as one of the harder schedules. I kind of want to change that, though, because of how Indiana's falling apart a little bit. But still, they're still a top, 8 defense, I think Indiana is. Mm-hmm. And they still have to play Atlanta and New York again. Seattle has an easy schedule. They play Chicago, Dallas, and Washington, all in the bottom half. With that said, hopefully Skylar Diggins and Brittany Sykes can do a little something, but they didn't do nothing for me to get to championship.
Well, they need, and you got to keep in mind too that some of these teams, it means more than others. The last 4 or 5 teams are all close in standing, so every win counts. So yeah, even if they're playing these, they can't afford to lose, basically.
Yeah.
So hopefully Stars are putting up good points that'll help for fantasy numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say another team that has a hard schedule, Golden State. Mm-hmm. Phoenix twice, Dallas. But Phoenix 2 times in a row, that's brutal. You guys are short players. Mm-hmm. Foul trouble puts you even shorter. Mm-hmm.
And we're down a big, so, because Repair was backing up Timmy.
I think
that's tough against Phoenix with Alyssa Thomas and Satu, so.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch any players outside of, Xanda Lassini, Salon. You could throw in Temi there. But the guard situation, I feel like, is really up and down, in my opinion. So, just cross your fingers for your Golden State players, but I'm not dropping Salon or Xanda Lassini, honestly. I don't know what you think about that with Golden State.
Yeah. It's tough, though, because it's still one of those teams where you never know who's going to really pop off or get the minutes. But I think Cecilia, like you said, Salon, Tiffany Hayes, those are more reliable. Burton, right there is kind of the cutoff, because everyone else is going to fluctuate. Just depends.
Yeah, definitely. Any other schedule on here that you want to talk about or highlight?
Get into the rankings.
Yeah, because everyone else has 3 games. It's pretty even. Yeah. Okay, over to the waiver wire rankings. So if you guys are new tuning in, we only talk about players that are less than 50% rostered, and I don't think Maddie Segrist is less than 50% rostered. Now that I'm looking at this, can you double check that? So we'll talk about players that are less than 50% rostered. It is a little difficult when we have so many injuries, so I do have asterisks next to certain players. So take these kind of with a grain of salt. Was Maddie Segrist?
20%.
Okay, the fact Maddie Segrist is only 20% rostered is insane. She's my number 1 pickup. It was between really her and Layla Lacan. Both have been killing it. I feel like Bria Hartley has been taking a back seat in Connecticut. Layla Lacan has stepped up. Sanaya Rivers. Where is Sanaya Rivers on my line? Okay, I forgot Sanaya Rivers. And Megan, you didn't catch it. Okay, and then we're going to add Sanaya Rivers right here under... right under Layla Lacan. Because those 2 have really been taken off. I know Sanaya Rivers is coming off the bench, but she has just been killing it. Yeah. I want to say her last game was 30 points, right?
Yeah, because Hartley fell off.
Yeah.
Getting 32 fantasy points, 36 minutes. So.
Okay, so 32 fantasy points 28. For her last game. 28? Mm-hmm. and 28 in her last second game. So these 3 are solid pickups. I'm trying to stash them everywhere. I mean, Maddie Siegrist has just been... I know the injury kind of threw us off. We were really high on Maddie Siegrist. She was doing really well, and then she got hurt, and then it kind of became a dead period, and then you guys know Dallas's rotation is just like, who knows who's going to go off. But Maddie Siegrist has been super consistent, and it's just, you got to pick her up at this point. Same with Layla Khan and Sanaya Rivers. I already talked about it. Bria Hartley kind of fell off, and Mabry hasn't really affected them too much. Do you want to pick someone to talk about, Meg?
I think Anissa Morrow is a good pickup as well from Connecticut. Just because we thought, when they're not resting Tina, that might fall off. But this past game really showed that they both can be fantasy valuable. Yeah. Even both playing. So I'm glad that Morrow still continues to get minutes when Tina's out there. But yeah, no, she's a pickup.
We also have to point out Odyssey Sims. 30 fantasy points, 17 fantasy points. I know the week that she was signed, she didn't have a good first game with them. But then they gave her a starting role, which really helped things fantasy-wise out. So now she's another, pickup. We did say they have a hard schedule and only 2 games this week. But if she's available during that time, I would definitely pick her up. I mean, I have some gaps I need to fill in. Sometimes these players that haven't played a lot get lost in the waiver wire. So you gotta find them. You gotta find those gems, right? Lexi Hulk rose up this week because Sophie Cunningham's gonna be hurt. Oh yeah, out. More than likely out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So she's
gonna get minutes.
She's gonna get minutes. Odyssey Sims kind of dampers that. I mean, just a little bit, but I think Lexi Hull is still gonna be a good play. And I want to asterisk. I have an asterisk here next to Jessica Shepard. I like Jessica Shepard. She's going to be a good play for the first game. But continuing into the week, as Nafisa Collier's status changes, take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, if Nafisa comes back, she might be on a minute restriction. Who knows? And you might be able to get away with Jessica Shepard. But if Nafisa comes back fully by the end of the week, you got to fade Jessica Shepard a little bit. Would you say so? Well, what's your take on Jessica Shepard?
Yeah, if Nafisa's back, then she's probably not a strong go. Because she's not super consistent as well, but she will get you double figures, so that's good. Especially when everyone's going to be getting rid of a lot of those LA players. Atlanta, Indiana, they're gonna be rotating. So I think it's still a good pickup. And then I just want to touch back up on Dominique, because when you look at Seattle's game, Chicago, Dallas, Washington, I know Seattle's been struggling, so I don't want to say any game is easy for them lately, but these are must-win games for them, and if they make any type of lead on them, I see Dominique getting a lot of minutes, so I think her fantasy value could be great this week.
Who's another player? If Enrique's out, Isaiah James and JJ Quinterly are both interesting. I think you can play them if Enrique's out. If Enrique's back, I don't think you can. We saw the dip once she came back when both Isaiah and JJ, especially with Maddie Siegrist coming back, she's taking more of the scoring volume away, which is kind of hurt. Louisa, Leah Rue is going to be hurt, so she's not on here. So she's kind of day-to-day, so I didn't really want to rank her. I think Louisa can still give you some points, though, at least in the teens. I know she had that bad game that really hurt me in playoffs, but it's fine. Because I think she had 15 and 21 the next 2 games. So, those are like Dallas is Dallas. In the order I would go, it would be Louisa, Haley Jones, Isaiah, JJ. Meg, do you have it any differently?
No, I would mimic that.
Okay.
That's pretty accurate.
And like I said, if Enrique is in this week, I would fade Isaiah and JJ. And then, let me see. And I think, the same thing with Nafisa coming back, I think it still affects Natisha Hydman, just because of the rotation, right? When Nafisa went out, Natisha Hydman's production fantasy-wise went up. Smaller rotation. So, I mean, once Nafisa comes back, she plays a lot more minutes.
Yeah.
Less rotation. Dejanay, she's been good, but she's like 70% rostered or whatever, so she's not someone that we're going to be talking about. And then Ray Burrell's been pretty consistent, but again, LA plays one game. The only thing is, the reason I want to mention Ray Burrell is because they're an island game, so they're the only game that day. So definitely I would pick up Ray Burrell just to be relevant. Because, I mean, in some leagues, I already had to pick up someone because I had no one. I don't know if that was with you, but a lot of people only have one player. Some people have two, but it's looking like a slim day. So I think Ray Burrell should be a good pickup. Right. Going down here is when we're just getting into, like, bleh. So, Meg, if you had to take a chance on any of these people down below, I don't know, 25... 26, because I already talked about Ray Burrell. I mean, who are you looking at?
Like you said, JJ Quinley, if Enrique's out. Another person to probably keep an eye out is Pow Pow. You know, Atlanta just played Golden State. They had some foul trouble. And she's been stepping it up and giving good minutes. So I think that can translate into some points. I don't think Canada's coming back, at least in the next 2 games, but you just got to keep an eye on that. She could be valuable. Yeah. And then
it's like slim pickings.
Honestly, outside of that, yeah,
I wouldn't want to really touch it. Maybe Natasha Mack.
Yeah.
Maybe. Just to have someone if you really need to.
Yeah.
People are left off. I know Makoa Okani was right here, but we had talked about her. I think I have plugged her in. Yeah, I plugged her in. I plugged her in over Sammy Whitcomb. With Makoa Okani out, Sammy Whitcomb was a good play. But now that she's back, I would still fade Sammy. I mean, you could play her and hope she gets hot. But, I mean, that's going to be pretty difficult. Sophie Cunningham and Leah Rue were left off this list due to injury. We had talked highly about Sophie Cunningham, fantasy-wise. So if she's available and healthy, sure. But I don't think she's going to be back for fantasy playoffs. Yeah. A number of names we always talk about that are more than 50% roster: Naz Hillman, Elizabeth Williams, Tiffany Hayes, Phoebich, Bonner, Mieseman. If Angel Reese comes back, I probably might fade Elizabeth Williams. If Angel Reese is on a minute restriction, you could probably keep Elizabeth Williams in there. I mean, what do you think about the Elizabeth Williams situation?
Yeah, I mean, if Angel comes back, she's definitely taking minutes from someone, and it's not going to be Cardoso. So yeah, you can just bet that it'll be Elizabeth, so you can kind of lean against that.
Yeah. I think if they come out and say, okay, Angel's going to have minute restriction, you can hold on to Elizabeth and play her. But if they're like, no minute restriction, yeah, I probably would try and move on and find someone else. But I'm sure a majority of people that held on to Elizabeth Williams also had Angel. So I would just personally probably drop Elizabeth Williams if I had Angel on my IR, which I do. Yeah. So that's probably what's going to happen. And then Mieseman, we had talked about it. She was our number 1 pickup last week. And you guys listen, because now she's 68% rostered. She was like super low rostered last week. But she's just going to be a great addition. She's just a great addition for New York. So, if you guys have any questions about people that you guys are debating about between, let us know. A lot of these names we talk about and harp on every single week. So we wanted to point out, Minnesota's ever-changing situation. Same with Dallas and the injuries and stuff like that. So just drop the questions in the Discord. But we'll go over the questions that we had submitted in the Discord. I said drop them in the Discord. Drop them in the chat. There we go. First question: will we see Reese, Stewie, Fee, or Caitlin Clark return before the end of this week? Megan, who's your picks?
Maybe Stewie.
Really?
And Reese. They keep saying Stewie's gonna make her return before her birthday.
I know.
So there's a chance it could be this week.
Yeah.
And then Reese has already been playing.
Yeah.
I don't want to bet on Caitlin Clark, so I'm over that train. Yeah. And I would be too if I were you guys, especially with Indiana just slumping right now. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I would also bet on Reese and Stewie if I had to. I don't think Nafisa. maybe Nafisa late week, but I would say for sure probably Reese by the end of the week. I don't think Caitlin Clark's going to return. I could see Caitlin Clark returning in like September after our fantasy playoffs. Worth dropping Hayes. My team is Hayes, Plum, McBride, Mabry, Mieseman, Jones, Nika, Gabby, Boston. With Plum playing only one, I would have one spot for waiver, but with Hayes so inconsistent, I feel I'd rather get much better output just dropping her 2 and having second waiver wire spot. Is it worth it?
I would keep Hayes. Yeah, because they play the Mercury. Valkyries, they don't have a lot to go off of right now, so exactly. I think Hayes, she's going to be just as well as picking up any other person on the waiver wire probably at this point. You could do a drop pickup with Hayes if necessary because they play Tuesday and then they don't play again until Friday.
There you go.
So you could do something like that, but I don't think I would drop her right away, especially before tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I see the second part of the question is talking about dropping Mabry too. That's going to be a hard no.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Mabry, you saw off that OT game just the other day. I think she's worth holding on to. They have, I wouldn't say easy schedule, but they do play Washington a couple times, and Chicago.
Yeah.
And those are potentially games that I think Mabry could have a good day at. So.
Yeah. I agree with Meg. If you're not using Hayes, you guys play Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday and Friday.
If you're not using Hayes on Tuesday, sure, pick up someone for Wednesday. That island game that we were talking about, and then try and pick her up on Friday. With championship week, I don't think anyone's going to be trying to pick up someone for Friday when it's Tuesday. So if you're worried about that, I wouldn't be. Play day by day.
And I would check the settings, but I'm pretty sure that the only people that can do the waiver is the ones that's in the
That's league by league.
Okay.
So I think the default is. I think we accidentally defaulted to the waiver. You can only use it if you're fighting for third place and above or something.
Yeah. So check your league settings basically to see, because that also helps out a lot. Like you can kind of see, okay, how many people are you competing on the waiver for? So.
Yeah, exactly. Who has a higher ceiling, Copper or Chelsea Gray? Copper has an easier schedule this year. Ceiling is Copper. I'm going back to Phoenix's schedule. Golden State, Vegas, Golden State, and then Vegas, Atlanta. Ooh, Atlanta, Phoenix, Washington. Copper has the higher ceiling. I haven't really. Okay, you take that one, Megan.
I don't know. I don't have Chelsea Gray, so I haven't.
Chelsea Gray's been pretty consistent.
I know they're now popping off too. We already see Vegas is on a 7-game win streak.
Yeah. So
they're starting to really turn up, and I only can see Chelsea Gray's fantasy going up as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Copper 29, 23, 17 last 3 games.
The thing with Copper, in my opinion, is like, her stat line, other than points, is always kind of low to me. And so the higher ceiling to me is going to be Chelsea Gray because she's going to get her assist.
Okay,
She's going to get her assist, and then if she pops off by points. But I think they're pretty fair. Like, I don't think you'll go wrong with either, but I'm going to lean Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, looking at the stats, I agree with you, Meg.
And
she covers
Vegas
more of the box score.
And Vegas is hot. I see them continuing that hot streak.
Okay. I like your answer, Meg. Questions in the chat. Are we expecting Suge Sutton to keep up at least 17 to 20 fantasy points per game? If so, would you rather have her or Banham?
I can't promise that because I think Melbourne's been eating into a little bit of Suge's minutes and like she, in my opinion, just seems a little more aggressive than Sutton. Mm-hmm. Sutton to me sometimes she passes up on shots and like
a true point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think Suge though will at least get you in the teens. Low. Yeah. I think she still has that capability, but she can also pop off for maybe a little 20, 22. Yeah. I would.
Last 3 games, she's been over 20 fantasy points. So.
Okay, but would you have her or Bantam? I personally think I'd lean Bantam.
See, the thing is, too, if Angel comes back, that might pull into that. But Bantam's been way more consistent. And Bantam has the higher ceiling. Let's say that. Bantam definitely has the higher ceiling.
Yes.
So it depends on what you need.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think Bantam is probably the way to go. Yeah, I'm going Bantam.
Drop Ezzy for Xana Lucini was gold. Yes, sir. Except for that Oh, I know. Xana Lucini, I thought she did bad, but she did fine. That Atlanta game.
But Ezzy,
Ezzy, such a disappointing. Game, I don't play Hayes Tuesday. That's a question I want to ask, too. Last stream I asked Hayes versus Mabry. Did last game change your opinion from Hayes to Mabry? From Hayes to Mabry. I think Mabry needed to get
her feet back on
Yes, that's where I was going.
So that does change things. So what I'm understanding is your lineup is full and you don't need Hayes. I would drop Hayes then. If you don't need her, you can, and then if you need her Friday, pick her back up Friday. But I think, especially if you're fighting for first through third place in your leagues, like, you got to do day by day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So if you're not utilizing Hayes, then I would drop Hayes. And if you want to throw some strategy in it, I would drop her tomorrow. So she's not available. But I think if they drop today still, she wouldn't be. I think it depends on your league settings.
There's a chance that she might be.
Check your league settings. If you drop her today, would she be available still on waivers for tomorrow, or if it would go to Wednesday? But
yeah. I think last week when we had said we were doubtful of Mabry, I think it's just there were so many, like, Bria Hartley was still doing good, and we were just kind of like, she didn't do good like the last 2 games before that, 10 and 19. It's just trying to find that flow for Connecticut. And then Connecticut plays who this week? They have a good schedule. Washington, Chicago. So you had just mentioned it. She has a better schedule this week, right? I think last week we didn't like her schedule, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, she played Indiana, but then she ended up having a
good game.
And they went to overtime, so that just helped stat points
helped
too.
The stats. It did. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, she put up 27 points.
Yeah. And I mean, this week, like you said, Golden State plays Tuesday and then Friday, so there's a big gap. Is that what you said, Tuesday and Friday?
Yeah, Tuesday, Friday.
So, I mean, yeah.
I mean, the last few times that Mabry played Washington, she had really good games. She had 36 fantasy points, and then the game before that, 21 fantasy points. So,
Okay.
If that helps at all.
Yeah. All right, guys. Any other questions for your championship week? If we didn't get to them on the live, make sure to comment down below. We'll answer your questions, or join our Discord, link in the description, and we'll answer them there. But it's been fun. Oh, you're giving him advice against you. Or them. Sorry. I didn't mean to say. I keep saying that. Good job, Meg.
It's all right. I like competition.
Oh, that's funny.
It's all right. I'm gonna be on it this tonight. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Good luck. It's been a fun season. It's been a quick season. I feel like it flew by. I feel like we're just talking about drafting, who to draft and who to trade and all that. So this will be our last Fantasy Live. So if you have any other fantasy relevant questions, make sure to join our Discord or leave a comment down below. We'll have our Fantasy Awards. It might be 2 weeks out, so I can get everyone's votes in. And we'll probably just go live for that and just go over our woes of the season, because I have some woes. I'm a girl. Perfect! Now I can say she. Thank you. I'm glad we have another girl in fantasy basketball, because I feel like we have a lot of guys. We have a lot of guys playing with us. Yeah. So thank you guys again. If you guys are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and we'll see you guys next season. It'll be fun. Thank you guys so much for playing with us, and good luck in the fantasy championships if you're in it. Thank you guys. Peace.